Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Time for the annual look at US-1 as we start inching closer to the end of this legendary series. Yes, I know he makes appearances afterwards, but the series is almost over. Last time on Issue 9, friggin' pandemonium happened! After discovering that Taryn O'Connell was not Midnight, a brawl broke out in an oil slick between some customers, Midnight, our heroes. Oh, but that wasn't enough, because during that, the aptly titled Clutch, Grab, and Legreed hired Baron von Blimp to attack the truck stop, and he did so with a contingent of frickin' Nazis! The Highwayman, observing all this in his lair full of monitors somehow watching everything in the area, decided to join into the fray too, as the aliens from issue 5 decided to also come in and get involved.
Our story so far? Utter madness.
Finally, Ulysses Solomon Archer got a hold of Midnight's hypno whip to calm all this down, and finally reveal that Midnight was really...
Why, it's Old Man Withers, the guy who runs the haunted amusement park.
Or Granny Goodness, take your pick. Well, actually, it was Mary McGrill, the blonde waitress who had eyes for US. However, it seems that she, too, was under the mind control of the Highwayman, who arrived to finally sort this out, which is where we'll be picking up the story. I feel like it's important that I keep reminding people that this story exists because of frickin' slot cars. Let's dig into US-1 number 10 and see where this takes us next.
Atop the fourth wall, where bad comics burn. Linkara's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. What's with these awkward subjects? What's all this art so rubbish? To anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he is a man, punch, sporadically a grouch. Linkara, he has his own spaceship, but he's always on his couch. Linkara, a universe in flux. Linkara, this comic sucks. Linkara.
The cover's not great. It has a few elements that are okay, like the Highwayman's face kind of silhouetting into the background up top, but I think this is another case where the size of the logo is interfering with the rest of it. Just a small collage of elements from the book, like the Baron, his blimp, the US-1 truck, and Taryn right here, who frankly looks pretty bad. Her left arm looks bigger than her right, and her face has a lot of weird, sharp cheekbones that make her look almost gaunt and skeletal. Who is the Highwayman? Wait, are they suggesting that one of the four things on this cover is the Highwayman? If that's the case, my guess is the blimp. No one would ever expect it. We open, as I said earlier, with the Highwayman confronting our heroes. So you've learned at last that my agent, Midnight, was really your friendly waitress, Mary McGrill. I was going to surprise you with this on your birthday, but I guess that's ruined. Who else but I, the Highwayman, could have engineered such a delightfully devastating scenario? I mean, if it wasn't some rando we never met before, there were really only two viable options. Again, if it was the blimp, that would have been diabolical. Who else but the Highwayman would have the imagination to attack your insignificant little truck stop by engaging the services of Baron von Blimp and his... how imaginative, his squadron of neo-Nazis. I, didn't actually know about the Nazis when I hired him. This makes paying them kind of awkward. He exposits how them using the hypno whip has frozen everyone else in the area, as we can see, and then resumes monologuing about how Mary is just as much under his control as everyone she used the whip on. Yet you managed to defeat her, negating the whip's effect, leaving her in this quasi-enthralled state. Do you know how hard it is to run boot recovery on a person? It takes like 6 hours. You have managed to thwart me at every turn, Ulysses Solomon Archer, but no more! The series is going to end soon, so damn it, we need to start wrapping this up! Our heroes make their move. Wideload pulls Mary out of the way, and Ulysses goes for the Hypno Whip, cracking it on the Highwayman. but it has no effect on him. Ha! Do you think I would be foolish enough to supply my henchmen with weapons that could do me harm? I mean, you could probably still use the whip as a whip. I bet that would do some harm. He yanks the whip away, though US points out that the whip won't work on him either. The Highwayman apparently forgets the others are there and could be mind-controlled with it, though. Instead, he allows US to turn on his truck to come hurtling towards them. Well, I say hurtling, but the one thing this comic seems to keep forgetting is that trucks are not exactly known for going 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. Nor their maneuverability, so with how short the distance should be from them, the Highwayman should be able to just, sidestep out of the way of the thing. But instead, he summons up his own truck, the Black Rig, to intercept it. And again, apparently trucks in this world, especially ones with their cargo trailers attached like the Black Rig, can zip around faster and better than fighter planes, since it swerves around and collides with US-1 to stop it. You see, my friend, I too have mental mastery of my truck, and I don't need to have a metal plate inserted in my skull to achieve that end. Being part of the Marvel Universe, I'm actually a mutant. It's just my power is weirdly specific to just this one truck. It is time I eliminated you once and for all! You have been a thorn in my side as long as I can remember, US. Now we will vie for total supremacy on the highway and all that entails! So by eliminate him once and for all, you meant, a race? After he releases Mary from his mind control... Oh, wow, this outfit really shows off my girls. Hey, Ulysses. US finally asks the big question. Why the hell is the Highwayman even doing this? I mean, what have I ever done to you? Up until a little while ago, I had never even heard of you. Look, every Marvel hero needs a primary antagonist who's basically them but evil. There's an entire company specializing in training villains like this. I got lucky being assigned to you. At the training orientation, we had Miss Indifference, NHL Super Pro, and Ram, worst of the Space Knights. He recounts how they first encountered the Highwayman, he and his brother Jeff talking about how Ulysses wanted to be a trucker, but Jeff thinking it'd be a waste of his education. Suddenly, you pulled alongside us. It was weird that you kept signaling us to honk our horn. Don't you have one of your own? And then narration of the truck getting driven off the road, Ulysses being thrown clear, and seeing the Highwayman and his demons converging on the truck before an explosion knocked him unconscious. I was saved by the doctors. They put the metal cap in my skull and patched me back together. And now I taste copper in my mouth anytime a Maroon 5 song plays on the radio. Yes, an unfortunate miscalculation on my part. I never meant for you to be hurt in the crash. I'm curious how exactly you planned on keeping him alive after you ran his truck off a cliff. Were there safety mats down there and the truck missed? Ulysses demands to know if Jeff is still alive, and indeed, the Highwayman confirms he is. He then demands to know where he is. You will learn the answer to those questions when I wish you to, and not before. Presumably before I've eliminated you once and for all. Or after, I guess, I'm not picky. US prepares to throttle the Highwayman, but then the Baron decides to finally enter the fray. Fear not, Herr Highwayman. Baron von Blimp will not let them harm you. My gosh, the Baron's so mad he's chewing on his sword. What? It's been a long day and he needs a snack. Have you tried a sword before? Maybe it tastes good. Up above, the greedy businessmen are observing how everything is quickly going to hell, not helped by the Baron losing his footing and dropping onto the ground, ruining his big entrance. You've ruined my wonderful moment of dramatic revelation! God damn it. Look, US, can we try this again tomorrow? I think we've lost the moment here. I've been meaning to ask this, but what is the deal with the Highwayman's face? Even when everyone else is fully lit and we can see everything, it's like shadows are perpetually attracted to it to hide his features. Or if there was a big black roll of paint across it, that means we can't see any details. The Baron suddenly sees something above them and points up. And indeed, hovering above the area, even larger than the blimp, is a spaceship. It's a spaceship! Well, that certainly took a lot of insight. Terran, we have Nazis and truckers and blimps and supervillains and super trucks and now aliens. Sometimes you just need to take a second to acknowledge the obvious, because what the hell else can you say? Your time is up, Highwayman. You have had your opportunities. Now we will take matters into our own tentacles. Thank you for your hard work with the company, but firing you will increase our profits substantially. A complimentary gift basket is on your desk. Refusing this, the Highwayman jumps into the truck and says that he will get to choose the time and place of his final showdown with US. Yes, please decide where and when you'll stand around lecturing him instead of killing him like you said you would. Not wanting to lose him, Ulysses chases after in his own truck, and we do get a cool action movie moment as the truck starts moving without him in the cab, just riding the side of it. On board the spaceship, the aliens are watching this unfold. Golly, getting it looks like the Highwayman is going to get away again. Ugh, typical episodic show, need to restore the status quo at the end. You know, this is why serialized shows got so popular. They decide to just sit back and watch how this unfolds. US gets into the truck finally and tries to use some of the truck's weapons, including some grappling claws, to try to take hold of his enemy, but the Highwayman has been preparing for this confrontation. The tech in his own rig is designed to counter his, so he's able to yank US's truck around with him inside. Got to strain every muscle in my body, twist around so that on the next turn, I can get hold of the wheel. What's strange is that this is not the weirdest Fast and the Furious sequel I've seen. After getting himself detached from his enemy, US tries to play catch-up by rolling down a hill. Ha! That fool still hasn't learned his lesson. I could destroy him now, but I prefer to toy with him. Man, I talk to myself a lot. Am I just afraid that if I stay silent, I'll start thinking about the terrible choices I've made with my life? The Highwayman starts bumping into US-1, which forces him into a skid. It almost sends him off an embankment, but he holds on long enough to bounce off of a rock and resume the chase. He next tries to launch missiles that'll come up from above, but unfortunately the Highwayman's been studying every tactic Ulysses has used, and since he used this against the Baron, he has a friggin' force field around his truck. Still, the distraction allows US to get ahead of the Black Rig. What'll you do when your tires hit these razor-sharp caltrops? Well, first you'll wonder what the hell a caltrop is, since the things you're dropping are caltrops. Although maybe caltrops are what these spike things are, because those aren't what a caltrop is. Biodegradable, of course, so they won't pose a threat to innocent motorists who may follow. Oh, good, so the roads will be safe again in several years. Not that it matters anyway, since the Black Rig's tires are reinforced against them. His last options are a smoke screen and an oil slick to try to make his truck slip out of control, but the Highwayman has one last trick of his own. The Black Rig can fly!
Over the road racing, above the road, under the road, who knows?
The Black Rig fires down some sort of energy ray that stalls US-1, stopping it from moving. The truck hovers in the air as the Highwayman descends down on some kind of hard light projection to meet with Ulysses. You were about to tell me before, Highwayman. What is the point of all this? Where do you get all of your amazing technology from? Ugh, Apple, believe it or not. The real reason I painted the whole thing black was to cover up the logo all over it. He also demands to know what this has to do with the spaceship and what's happened to Jeff. And so our comic ends with the major revelation, as it turns out that the Highwayman is Jeff! Jeff, it's you! But it can't be! You were wearing a mask all along! And wow, your outfit looks considerably less impressive when there isn't a constant shadow over all of it. It's just this kind of weird purple onesie with footies on it.
There. Sure glad I don't look stupid in this.
This comic is okay. The strongest part of it is that we finally have the direct confrontation with the Highwayman, his rig versus US-1, which has been what they've been building up to the entire comic's run. At the same time, though, it kinda feels like padding because it takes us a while to even get to that confrontation. The rest is just posturing from the Highwayman. We don't get any real answers. All of that is reserved for the penultimate issue. Still, though, there is a purpose to seeing US get so thoroughly trounced in this confrontation. Not just in their respective rigs, but when they tried to fight him with Midnight's whip or the like. Fighting the Highwayman is going to be the focus of the final issue, so you need to set up how outmatched Ulysses is. Every trick he has is countered, and every strategy he's employed up until now is useless against his main enemy. It raises the stakes and makes it more exciting and interesting to see how he will overcome him. It's just viewing it in isolation here as the series winds down, it feels like not much has been accomplished in this entry. Next time, some more revisiting of series as we see if Godzilla, Kingdom of Monsters, will start getting good like it's supposed to.
I'm sitting on my couch reviewing
Why did you attack me, Jeff? What made you carry on this masquerade? Why did you do it, Jeff? Why?
Ah, but that's the question, isn't it, little brother? And it's going to take Linkara a whole other year before you get those answers.
All right, Nimue, she's free to come in.
Confirmed.
Ah, hi, Linkara. Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, Sphinx Yonder, and congrats on beating Destragauga.
Oh, that was nothing. In my universe, I once flew the Tempest Dancer over a 3-kilometer sandworm just 2 meters above it.
There are so many things about what you just said that are unbelievable, and yet I completely believe them.
Is that a model of your ship?
Yeah. It's a bit crude, yes, and the, ship has been refit several times, so that model is out of date, but yeah, that's Comicron 1.
Let me tell you, I hadn't heard of Lord Vice before the contest, but damn if he doesn't know how to build ships. According to the data, this thing was cobbled together from parts he found across different universes, but it looks elegant. Symmetrical. You'd think a thing like that would just look like a pile of junk just welded together, but it's gorgeous. Especially with the multiple engine modes. And these shield generator towers, oh.
You have been studying.
Well, I had to make sure that my contest would be okay.
Alrighty, down to business. Round 3, Sphinx. Choose your contest.
A race.
Ah, yeah. I've been studying too. I was kind of expecting that. Your ship against mine, I take it?
Specifically, your little fighter jet versus the Tempest Dancer. 3 stages, and the details should be uploaded to you already. Where's the fighter bay?
Okay, let's see. Shield endurance test and a star. Okay. Combat drone test. Wait. Chemical fuel cells only?
Yep. No magic, no nuclear, no fusion. I'll allow solar cells for generating shields and giving you life support, even if the fuel runs out, but nothing else.
This is gonna take some modifications to the Vigilant.
Same for my ship. Nothing personal. I looked at the specs, and your power generation is way past mine. This was the only way we could even it out and make it fair.
Then why does it feel like I'm the one who got nerfed while you're ready for this?
Oh, I'm always ready. Because I'm just that good. Let's see if you are too.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have to look this over to see if I have any other objections, but tentatively I agree. May the best pilot win.
Oh, I will.
Nimue, contact Dr. Linksano. There are some modifications we need to make to the Vigilant.
I have been monitoring, Linkara. The Forge can make the necessary modifications to the speed variant of the Vigilant.
Oh, that's good to know at least.
Linkara, while you were talking with her, Impura and the Bandit Chief had their contest.
So how quickly did Impura whoop his ass?
Linkara, the Bandit Chief won.
But she's a sorceress with, like, magic powers and stuff.
Yes, I'm not sure what happened either. It looks like he had some kind of relic that was able to repel all her magical attacks.
Huh. I guess we've been underestimating the Bandit Chief. Send me his dossier. Hello, my friends. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications on new video releases. If you'd like to support future videos, you can check out my Patreon or purchase a t-shirt via Teespring or Shark Robot. Thanks for watching!